I'd like to welcome you to Xuanzang's Tower. And today we're actually broadcasting from Diamond Mountain Retreat Center. By the way, you have to talk like that. Pause this. Translator. And today we're also welcoming the Sedona College of International Management students, SCIM students. Every term that we have an SCIM term, these students are learning to be teachers for Diamond Cutter Institute Global, DCI Global, around the world. And it's an intense, how long? 10 days more, 2 weeks, 7 days. Anyway, it's crazy. And very, very intense, very, very long hours for training.
现在葛新老师
for training DCI teachers, okay? And one of the parts of the training is called diamond mining, okay? And that means getting our DCI teachers familiar with the process that Grandpa especially goes through when I design a new DCI level. And I go to the ancient classics of Asia and I study them, I read them every day, 5-6 hours, I work on them. And then I try to go diamond mining and I try to find diamonds in the ancient books and I dig them out and then I turn them into a course. So you guys at SCIM, if you've been to SCIM before, you know that we have 3 or 4 experienced diamond mining teachers like Xuanzang Shi, and you have Nick Lashaw, Seiji Arao Takahashi, and myself. Who else? Stanley Chen. And we go through the process of diamond mining. We explain how do we go to the ancient classics and take out an idea. And then how do we turn that into something that will help both people who are interested in the classics of Asia and people who are more interested in how to use it for business, for example. So that process is called diamond mining. And I wanted to show you today 3 steps in the process of diamond mining, okay? And first step would be the way that I train diamond miners is that I hold their hand for a long time. And then I say, do this, this is what this word means, this is what this word means. And it takes a long time. It takes, I don't know, at least 5 years or something. So I help them word by word. I would say that's stage 1 of diamond mining. And then secondly, I encourage them to work together with me. So then we sit together, we work together, we do the class together. They might do the homework first and they might show some of their translations. And then we'll work together on a new ancient text. And then that diamond mining learner will learn how to lead a discussion of how to use their text in the real world. Okay, so that's what you're going to see today in this diamond mining class. Okay, you have a very experienced diamond mining learner, and he's almost ready for, or he's already at stage 3 of diamond mining, which is where They just go off on their own and they start teaching their own students and they start diamond mining on their own. And they create programs out of their books. And so there's three. I wanted you to know in this session of SCIM that there's three stages of diamond miner training. Okay, so Ben finished the first stage a long time ago, and he learned the basic language and how to do it. Then he moved into the second stage, which is learning to read the book, finding new ideas. He has completed an amazing book from ancient classics called Siddhanta, which is a comparative book about viewpoints. And that became advanced level 3 of SCIM, of DCI. And then tomorrow, we're going to use that same principle. We're going to use his book and advanced level 3 in our Diamond Mountain course on Arya Nagarjuna's wisdom. Tomorrow at Diamond Mountain, we will finish 7 years of classes on wisdom, on the book Wisdom. And what we're going to do is cover the material from Ben's book, which was used for a DCI course. So we're going to finish Nagarjuna with Kramer. Okay, and tomorrow. Okay, and so then you see the whole process. So the purpose of today's class, besides having a Xuanzang Tower class, is to acquaint the SCIM students with 3 stages of diamond miner training. And, you know, and I'd like to say one last thing, and then Ben will start. As an SCIM teacher, as a graduate of SCIM, you don't have to be a diamond miner, but you could hire a diamond miner, or you could do a collaboration with a diamond miner. And we have new collaborations like that are being funded. I raised funding mostly from Grandpa to do these kinds of collaborations. Mixed Nuts translators will be working with the Great Books Institute teachers. They will be collaborating with each other to design new courses. And that's happening right now. There's a Latin America team. They are operating in 9 countries of Latin America, and they are collaborating with our translators. So you match a diamond miner with a public teacher. And we're doing that in Latin America right now in 9 different countries. And it's very, very cool. And we got a sponsor, which is usually Geshe starts. We got sponsors to give grants to teams of the translator and the teacher from the Great Book Institute. Okay, so you'll be seeing all that today. So take it away, Ben, and I'll relax. Ben Kramer. By the way, who also did a 3-year retreat here. He did the whole Diamond Way course here. And all the 3-year retreatants who did 3-year retreat here, they built their own cabin. And they paid for it. And then they donated it to Diamond Mountain. So you're probably staying in a cabin that was donated by one of those retreatants. And Ben is one of them. So I'd like to thank him. And his wife, Kendra. He and his wife, Kendra, did the retreat together, and they built the cabin together, and they donated the cabin together. So thank you, Kendra. After that, they had Ezra, and I'd like to welcome Ezra for coming.
So a few words about the book.
Yep.
The book we're studying is a commentary on accurate perception. The point of the book is of all the things we're learning, all the things you're learning this week, all the things you're studying, to see, is it true? How can you see, is it true? This book is a manual before you see for yourself what is possible, to get a peek over the hill of everything that's in your way right now. You have this periscope, right? Like a submarine has a periscope that comes up from under the water, peeks over the water, and can see over trouble. Your clear thinking is just such a tool. Being able to use a logical mind allows you understanding beyond the capacity of your normal senses. So this is what the book is about. It's by ancient master Dharmakirti, Master Dharmakirti. And we're studying a very special commentary on that book by a master named Yeshe Wangchuk. And he passed in our lifetimes. And we are most fortunate that the root text for this commentary was inserted by a 20-year-old who dutifully prepared the text for us a long time ago. How long did it take you?
About 3 years.
About 3 years. So it's an honor to carry on the work on this text that you started at that time. Homework? Yeah. Okay, good. These are hard, but it's what we covered. We had a verse in the root text, verse 4 of the root text, which I don't expect you to remember. There are 4 ways of proving that something is missing. And I noticed that there are 2 ways of speaking of it positively and 2 ways of speaking of it negatively. Though I haven't seen that pointed out in the commentary, it's just my hope to offer some help. So, oh yeah, Nick. Cool. Hey, dude.
Hey.
Hey,
It's a weird angle to hear you from.
It's good to see you at Time and Mountain.
Cool, thanks. Yeah, it's wonderful to be here.
Is it the presence of something that contradicts it?
Yeah.
The presence of something that proves it must be there? Like if it's there, then if that thing is there, then it is also there?
Oh, in this case, we're just proving that something isn't there. We had
Right.
proofs for the presence of a thing. So we're only focused on proving that something isn't there, like
The proof
rattlesnake in your composting toilet.
He was there yesterday.
Right. You want to prove it's not there before you sit down, and clear thinking can help you to do that. So yes, one of them is the presence of something that would be contradictory to that thing being there. Like what?
like fire being in a place that was freezing cold.
Cool. Yeah. What else could be somewhere that would prove something isn't there? This is harder, but it relates to fire.
A cause for something that would contradict it?
Certainly not, but Natasha knows better. Smoke, which is not a cause, but a
result
of fire. So if there's a result of something that is contradictory, that would not be in the same place as real cold sensation, like a whole bunch of smoke, then that would also contradict it. So we got 2 negatives. In West Chinese language, do you want to try? Anyone, including Nick?
Geltak or something, or Gelrik?
Yeah, good. Right. Gelnda, right? Gelnda mikvah, seeing a gelnda. Or what about the smoke that Natasha mentioned?
Drebuinganda.
I'll take it. Something very much like that.
Nice.
Here, cool.
Nice.
Yeah, Gandre Mikpe. Okay, so what things would be missing that would suggest that something else is missing?
Say it again.
Yeah, right. Very clever. Thank you. Yeah, a result. If there's a result missing. Yeah, so for example, well, what would be a good example? This is hard.
Changde Buluche. Buluche. Changde Buluche.
Hair. Oh, goosebumps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, right. But is it the lack of goosebumps? That doesn't seem right.
Wow, we're going to get to that.
Okay,
today.
we're going to get to that today. Anyway, that was right. That is one of them. Okay, a reason for the absence of something based on the absence of its cause. Right. So you can't have goosebumps or a shiver or chicken skin or whatever. Yeah. I think they call it on the other side of the pond, something like that. If there's no cold feeling. Oh, one more. Lack of something. These are hard. It's okay. I struggle with this one here. We'll put it on the next page. A reason for the absence of something based on the absence of its nature. The examples we had involved not having an accurate perception of something, because the definition of an existing thing is what? Yeah. Was that you? Yeah, of course. It was the smart wife. In Western Chinese language? Yeah. Tseme. Tseme mikpe yepetseni. See? You find one like that, marry them immediately. Yeah.
Cool. By the way, they run a beautiful yoga studio in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So if you're ever there, you can
come visit.
Take some classes.
Okay. What additional type of reason? Oh yes. What additional type of reason is implied by the fact that the presence of a thing's natural opposite can prove its lack? Meaning, the fact that you can prove something isn't there with a contradictory thing, like there can't be a cold sensation where there's fire, proves or suggests another type of possible proof. This is hard. We might have to rely on the chat or the internet. Or it's okay, Utpala. You don't have to give anyone else a chance anymore.
Offer some money. That always
I offer any multiple of $0 that you like. Oh, sure. Oh, I like that. It's creative. In this case, it relates to parts maybe in, were you going to guess? Or you're scratching your head, or you have an answer?
Be careful when you stretch in this.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. Oh, also scratching your head. Okay. This is a reason for the absence of something based on the presence of what necessarily includes its opposite. It's hard, but this is what we covered. So
we need an example.
Yeah. Yeah, what would be an example? We had them in the text. I know, I'm sorry. Let's see. So what would necessarily include, let's see, included by fire? How about a fire, like a white hot fire? So you could say, there is no cold feeling because there's a on the mountain because there's a white hot fire on the mountain. And then white hot fire is included by fire.
Yeah.
Right?
Say that.
Okay, we'll try something like that. I'm still learning. We'll see. We have to learn together. Oh, don't look at the answer. Maybe you needed to look at the answer. It's okay. There's another additional type of reasoning implied by the fact that an absence of a thing's natural opposite can prove its lack. It's related. There's no elephant on this table because I'm not having an accurate perception of an elephant on the table. Does that make sense? Okay. There's no accurate perception of an elephant on the table. But what if I just said there's no elephant on the table because there's no... Oh, that's true. Yeah. I like it. Yeah. No smell of an elephant. What would include an accurate perception of an elephant? Accurate perceptions of elephants belong to a larger group. Yeah, who said? Yeah, cool. See, Mary, right away.
Too late.
Repeat the answer. Oh, I promised to. Thank you. An accurate perception. You see, there's no elephant on the table because I don't have an accurate perception of an elephant on the table. But there's no elephant on the table because there's no accurate perception at all. Would also do the trick. You see? Okay, last thing.
Because you're very drunk or something. Seriously. Yeah.
Does Master Dharmakirti directly mention these two types of reasons? What about in the chat? This was supposed to be a trick question, but it's too hard to even be tricky. He does. That's okay. We're all here to work on our powers of deduction. He mentions it directly in the auto commentary and not in the root text, according to our author. Would you repeat that? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Oh, to the first one. Well, hard to show you all the answer for the first one. You could take a picture. Oh, you did. Look how clever. Good. No? Oh, well, if I do that, then you won't be able to see. How about if I give you the first half, and then I'll give you the second half? Are you ready for the second half? Oh, you were videoing, not cameraing here. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, boss.
Okay, good.
You only quasi-assigned the root text
Really?
as a fun thing to play with, but more strongly suggested the... can I read to start? It's good luck while I'm here. Okay. Shepe Tsikche Shloka Chiki Dente Gongdu Geldre Mikpe Takdu We Drangre Kok Nuna Meg Yu Yepe Tak Le Kangre Kok Par Nu Ke.
Okay, good. Let's go through it.
Yeah.
And then check the translation.
Okay, sounds good.
So what's the shape of mean here?
In the words that we just had that are right here that we will maybe understand after reading commentary.
Do you want to say a little bit about the author or anything? Suppose nobody ever heard of him. When did he live?
He's 900s, something like that. He's the greatest logician of ancient India, after, maybe like the Buddha, who was also quite clever. But he's the one, when people are speaking in terms of that line of teachers, he's always the one that they mention. He was so brilliant that he was not understood in his time, and maybe not much afterwards, except for an amazing lineage that we get to be a part of. So it's famously the hard book. And he said, as he, at the end of this book, he added some lines. He said, "No one will understand this book. And it's okay. I wrote it anyway because it helps me." And people get jealous, and they don't like it when you're smart. You can see this on TV now. This was not special to his time. If you say clever things, people will attack you and be jealous. And I know it's okay, but I'm gonna do it anyway, because it makes my mind familiar with deep thoughts and beautiful speech. And when I pass, like the rivers drain into the sea, all of this knowledge will go away with me. I know, but we're trying to keep it alive anyway.
Cool.
Okay.
So anyway, this is a commentary to his work. Okay, and we chose this commentary. Why? There's lots of commentaries.
Oh, it's unusually clear, and mostly seems to go through the text word by word, but it hasn't yet exactly. So it's a very clear author who is relatively close in time to us. And generally speaking, if you can find a very wise author who's closer to you in time, you can get a more clear explanation.
Yeah, so the original poetry is extremely difficult. What's the book called? Commentary on...
A commentary on accurate perception.
And it's very hard packed, very difficult to understand. Okay, so what we're doing is we're looking at the verse from him, and then there's only one author that I'm aware of who carefully breaks it down word by word, and that's this author. But either he didn't do it in the first part, or he repeated it later, breaking it down. So unfortunately, he doesn't break down every verse word by word. Later he does. And I always use his commentary when I teach a class, and this author when Dharmakirti is quoted, I use this commentary. But unfortunately, in the opening verses, either the author changed his strategy, or he repeats it again later and does it word by word. I'm hoping it's just sort of introductory. If not, our ass is crossed. Okay, so Sikje means?
Verses, words or verses.
Yeah, and then Sholoka?
Yeah, shloka also sort of means that, but I guess this is a group of lines or words or verses in this case.
Thing.
Yeah.
The Sanskrit is shlo. Say shloka.
Shloka.
It's not sholoka. It's shloka. Okay, but the Tibetans pronounce it sholoka. So, Shikitende.
Sorry.
This idea is indicated with a single.
It's right, taught in, I guess, this single section or verse.
A single verse, 4 lines of verse. Okay. Now there's a problem with Dharmakirti's text. You guys are studying wisdom by Arya Nagarjuna. And he keeps his shlokas, he keeps his verses together. 4 lines is an idea, 4 lines is an idea. Dharmakirti breaks the verse. So he'll do a verse, he'll do 1.5 lines, then he'll switch topics for a line, and then he'll do a half line on another topic. So what he's saying is, luckily we have one whole verse here. Okay, later we're not going to. It's going to get messy. Okay, Dende, Kondu, Kontu.
I guess we discussed this above already.
Yeah, earlier on we talked about Gyeong De Mikbe Dak.
Reasons based on seeing a result that is contradictory to the presence of something.
Yeah. So if you see, by the way, we had bad forest fire here. We almost had to take the 3 retreatants away. It reached very close to the retreat valley. And it's very common in Arizona, California, Hawaii, Europe right now because of global warming. These forest fires are very dangerous. So if you see a mountain covered with smoke from a forest fire, is there a block of ice sitting in that on the top of that mountain? You can say no. Okay, so Gyeong De Mikbe Dak. Sometimes you base an argument on the presence of something, and sometimes you base an argument on the absence of something. Here, it's the presence of a result which contradicts what you're saying. Okay, the result is smoke. What does it contradict? Ice, because its cause contradicts ice. Got it? The fire contradicts ice. Okay, if you see smoke, there cannot be a block of ice sitting there. Big smoke. Sometimes they say big smoke. If it's just starting smoke, there could still be ice not quite melted yet. Okay. All right. Talk to Tua.
Tua smoke.
Yeah. The saying that the mountain is covered with smoke.
Yes.
Disallows Tongre.
Right. Disallows the possibility that it feels real cold there.
If you go up on that mountain, you don't have to take a coat. Okay? Got it. All right, Tangre Gok Nuna.
It can do that. It has the ability to contradict that.
Make you Yepe Takle Tangre Gok Nuga.
Yeah, then shouldn't the result of fire also be able to contradict the presence of cold sensation?
No. The Gyu of me.
Oh, I'm sorry, the cause.
Yeah.
Right, of course.
Now, think carefully. And that's the whole point of this book. Okay.
Yeah.
They're forcing you to think logically. Okay. Is it true that if the cause of fire is on the mountain, there wouldn't be any ice there? Because it is true, if the result of fire is on the mountain, there's no ice there. Sorry, yeah. Okay, if there's huge smoke, there's no block of ice there. That's easy. Now, does it go the other way? If you walk up there and there's lots of cause of fire, is there no ice block there? Yes or no?
Dirty rags, gasoline, firewood.
Could you have an ice block?
And
Yeah.
an ice block,
Okay.
sure.
So Dharmakirti is saying, be careful with your logic. And by the way, he's pointing out mistakes that every human being makes every 10 minutes. Okay. And if you could stop doing that, you'd have a better life and a better marriage. Right? If your spouse wasn't so illogical. Okay. Right? Right, Shintian? Okay. Go by nigger. Okay. It would have to. Let's look at the chart.
Okay, sure.
Here's what you see. Good.
Whoops. Whoops. Based on the presence of just a boo-boo.
Yeah, nice.
Okay.
Translation is good. Why the bolded letters?
Oh, anyone? Yeah.
Yeah. A good commentator sprinkles the ancient original in his commentary or her commentary, and then as a mixed nuts translator, we have a rule. We bold it out so you can appreciate that he's commenting on an ancient author. Okay, and that process is very difficult, and we always do it. It takes a lot of time. Then you can appreciate how the author of the commentary has woven the commentary around the root text. And then also it'll help you translate, because sometimes he will twist the sentence to fit the root text. And then the sentence sounds weird and you don't know why. In fact, if you're a good translator, you should be able to detect a sentence of commentary, because it'll be twisted to fit the root text. Okay. All right. Next paragraph. Are we on? What are we on?
Data na. Yeah, this is
Okay.
it. Yeah, data na pushing yusar chang me gube chir na tak de tupa changi ten sik su tene.
Okay, got it.
I believe. Yes.
Let me look at the.
Yeah, data na. If that were true, then the presence of pushing of firewood should contradict the presence of it being cold.
Yeah.
And so from this, we can see that such reasoning is taught as a mistaken form of reasoning.
Yeah. Okay. It's illogical. Okay. Is it true that if there's a huge mass of smoke on the mountain, there's no ice block? That's true. Oh, can we go the other way? If there's a big pile of firewood on the mountain, is there no ice block? That's not logical. Okay. So that's what Dharmakirti is saying. You can't go both ways. You can't go both ways.
Is firewood the cause of fire?
The presence of the result, especially if it's a big fat result, could prove the absence of the opposite, the ice, okay, of the fire. But the presence of the cause of fire doesn't disallow ice. Okay.
Unless you can't call it a cause until it's caused something. In which case, if you can't call it a cause unless it's caused something, firewood's not a cause for fire.
Oh, you can say potential cause. You can say a potential cause.
Because if the cause is there,
yeah,
then it would prove the presence
what was
of the
the
thing.
example?
Firewood.
Firewood.
Firewood is not a cause unless it's produced fire.
Firewood.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
we're not there yet. Okay. By the way, what's interesting for me, there are many ancient words here. So, when we're studying Arya Nagarjuna, which is what these guys are doing, he'll use many, many synonyms for emptiness, for example, suchness, thusness, the very nature, essence, and those are translatable. But in ancient logic, they use many, many terms for logical ideas, which are different. Like there's probably 5 different words for proof. And how do you translate them? How do you do that in English? How do you translate that? It's very, very difficult, okay? And so we're gonna struggle with that today. If we get that far, we're gonna do that. Okay, so anyway, here's a rare word, pretty rare word for a whole logical statement or a syllogism, which is
Densi.
Densi, yeah. And that Sikh means word, but if you spell it with an extra silent S, which is a pain in the butt, it changes meaning completely to mean a joint, a joint of your finger. Tonight we'll be doing a fire offering, if the weather permits. We will offer reeds, kind of stick, and it has many joints in it. And what's the result of that offering supposed to be? Long life, because many periods of life. So it's a symbolic offering. You throw in a stick with many joints to represent many periods of the person's life, and you will successfully go through your middle age, older middle age, younger old age, true old age, then old age. Okay, and that's called 6. Okay? And in logic, it means a complete logical statement with all the necessary sections. You see what I mean? And it's very hard to translate because it means the same thing as stock in the same sentence. RTAGS, stock. Stock can mean a syllogism, or stock can mean only the reason in a syllogism, okay? Only 1/3 of a syllogism. So the author is using ancient technical terms that are almost impossible to translate, and that's why we gave this book to the smartest translator. All right. Next paragraph. Are you there? Mena?
Yes. Mena shepe tsiki nupe me tangje kokpe gyu gel mik tang due drangwe kokpa gyu dangelwe drebu mikpa ni shukla pangso.
Okay, good. Mena, good. The word since Mena imply another 2 ways of machines and seeking new tongue there. Okay, good. What's shukla?
Imply.
Yeah, good. So it's a difficult word. Shuk means power. You know, in modern spoken West Chinese language, shuk means power. And in logic, it means something completely different. Shukla means implication, by the power of implication. So what he's saying is there are 2 additional categories of logical statements or syllogisms which are indicated in this verse. Can I say?
Yeah, seems to be.
Can you give that 2? Or
I think so, yeah. So,
and then can you challenge your students to come up with an example of the 2?
great, yeah. So when the presence of firewood is used to deny the result of cold, oh, right. This is a reason based on the presence of a contradictory cause. Oh, that is one of the ones implied. So he gives the example here already.
Say the name of the class of syllogism, and then see if your students can give you a real example.
Okay, so then a different one, a reason based on the presence of a contradictory cause. He gave an example. Fire used to deny the result of cold, like goosebumps. Okay, there can't be goosebumps because there's so much fire. Yeah. Did you say it? A frozen leg, she said. Yeah, right.
Can you make a logical statement? Let's take the top of the mountain.
Let's take the top of the mountain. There is, my leg is not frozen because there is no firewood. There is firewood.
Oh, because there is fire. Yeah, because the frozen leg is the result of being real cold, which is contradicted by fire. So yeah.
Let's take the top of this mountain here. We call frostbite in English, in American English, we call frostbite. So I'm not going to get frostbite up there. My toes are not going to freeze and fall off because there's fire there. Is it still logical if I say, take this mountain, I'm not going to go up there and get frostbite because there's lots of firewood stuck there? No. Okay. So just because the cause of fire is present doesn't mean it contradicts frostbite. Got it? And by the way, if you keep, it sounds like BS. It sounds like, why do I need to know all this stuff? If you start challenging your mind to think like this, if you're interested in business, for example, you will come up with new ideas in your business. It's weird to think about this logic, even though it's painful and seems like a waste of time. It has profound effects on your deeper mind. and you will start to have good ideas that you never expected. Okay, cool.
And
What's
then
the second one?
the other one is, and we can use in as example. So someone other than Inna give us a result that could contradict the presence of frostbite. Yeah, anyone but her, until no one answers but her, in which case it should certainly be her. Oh, Juan.
Wow.
I thought something, but then I refused myself. We can say the open sky.
Oh, it might be more obvious than you think. What we keep talking about in the context of these discussions, because that one result we keep talking about anyway will do nicely to contradict Inna's poor frozen leg. Okay, yes, good. Yeah, smoke will do nicely. And you'll notice it's the example that he chose for us.
By the way, in some of these syllogisms, they will say a hell of a lot of smoke. Okay. Some guy up there smoking a cigarette. You can still get frostbite. Okay. Like in Ukraine or something.
Okay, boss.
Okay, good.
What do I do? Do I take this out of here and put this here?
Ready to go to work?
Okay. Please.
By the way, every time we have a Saturday morning class, at 9 o'clock, the translator leads a discussion for 15 minutes of how could you possibly use this in your real life. Okay, so start thinking about, I think it's great when you're having arguments with your wife or husband, but not that I ever.
It doesn't work. It's very nice logic. We're still not doing that.
I'm lucky. Oh, dang, this thing's irritating me. Right? I have to do this, right? I got so many documents there, it moves slow. Okay, good. And then after that, what happens? Peachtree World News. We're so lucky to have the real director here. We were saying in the car on the way down, he was in the car, and me and who was I driving with? Rob. We're like, don't say anything that you could report. Then you know what he said after that? He said, some of those really good reporters, they accept bribes.
Good idea.
To not report things. And we're like, why are you mentioning that? What's the next one?
Do you pay for informants?
Oh,
such a reasonable question. Let's see. That's what we just covered. So we are now, if you want to cover the root text of, okay, great. So verse 1.6. No, we just did that. So now we're down to, sorry, it's also Shepe Tsikche.
Okay,
Shepe Tsikche.
Okay,
yes,
do you want to choose someone to read?
Oh, very much so. Good, please. Tell me your name. Julia, please.
Finland.
Yes.
Cool.
Shepe Tsikche de du ve Kutangrek Gokpala Dupa Yo Tsamki Mijok Baryul Tang Du Tang Me Gapo Gepar Sok Du Me Tangen Badokshe Tanno.
Good.
Nice. Yay.
Wonderful.
What this Tsikche is indicating,
yes, right,
is that when you use dua to gopa changre,
when you use smoke to contradict the presence of a cold sensation.
Then he says la'ang, okay, and la'ang means even when you use smoke to contradict cold, and when he says even, what he's referring to is firewood. So if you use firewood to contradict cold, you get into problems.
Yeah.
Okay? But sometimes you can get into problems with smoke. Right? You can still get frostbite, and there's smoke on the mountain, but it's not huge smoke. Okay? It's just the. So he says, and this is very, very profound paragraph. You know, if there's certain details that will blow up the logical statement anyway. Okay, you can say there's no ice block because there's smoke, but you better be talking about, here it is, Yul, Tu, and Nekap. Kepa means details. Certain details matter in logic. Okay, certain details matter when you're talking about logic. Can you give me a detail of Yul and a detail of Tu and a detail of Nekap that might affect even a correct logical statement about smoke, proving that there's no ice on the mountain?
Right. Fire in the kitchen doesn't disprove cold sensation on the mountain.
Good. Yul means location. Okay. So you can't say, it's not logical to say there's no ice block because there's fire. Because they might be in different countries. Okay? You got to specify the location. That's you. How about you?
There was a dramatic fire that came into the valley many years ago, but that doesn't mean it couldn't be cold there today.
Yeah, it might be necessary to pinpoint the time of day or the time of year or the year of the century. Okay? When you talk about contradiction. Okay. Now, he's got another one. Nekap.
Nekap. I don't know. What is Nekap? Maybe are there beings who would not experience?
Yeah, good. I like it. I would go there.
Okay.
Situation.
Yeah.
So suppose the person is paralyzed.
Yeah, they can't
They
feel.
can't feel cold anyway.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. You know, you gotta, in other words, the lesson here is, and by the way, these are the opening lines. And we've been on this for a couple of years already. These are the opening lines. You have to specify certain details to stay logical. In some cases, you'll have to specify more detail to stay logical. Detail of location, detail of time, and details of the situation. Okay, and the people involved. Okay, like that. And he's saying, so it's not true that blanket logical statements are always true. There could be exceptions according to the people involved, the location involved, the time involved. Okay, it's a very profound disclaimer of all logic, you know, and you know, this kind of statement is barely allowed in the debate ground. You just said something ridiculous. Yeah, but on Mars, if you've got 3 heads, you know, it could make sense, you know, and then you're like, yeah, come on, you know, let's stick to where we are, you know, like that, okay? Do you mind? Yeah, I had a question about the Ma here.
Oh, yeah.
There's a problem with the ancient language here. It could have been made on Demba, which means the mountain has fire. Or it could have been Duma Dang Demba.
How about Dua?
Oh my God. I think it's Duma, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Many different factors could be at play here.
Okay.
That's what he's saying.
Okay.
You know, time, place, situation.
Sure.
Then I tried to correct the block, and I was wrong.
Okay, cool.
Okay. May fits here, but it's not what it does say Duma.
Cool.
Which means there are many other factors possible. Okay. All right. But it's my grandpa's job. One of my jobs is to correct blocks, is to correct carvings. Sometimes, like with wisdom, we're going to see tomorrow. This block is 1,000 years old, and it's wrong. Okay. And I fixed it. Okay. But sometimes I fix it and it wasn't broken.
And you don't know You don't know how incredibly rare it is for anyone to be able to do that. And his students, once in a while, we catch one. But to have someone who can do that, who can catch mistakes when everything looks reasonable and plausible, we're very lucky that there's someone who can do that.
By the way, the reading that we're going to have tomorrow from Wisdom, in your last Wisdom class, that book, Wisdom, is found in which body of literature? I'll give you three choices: Kangyur, Tengyur, Sumbum. Yeah, Tengyur, which means the ancient Indian commentaries, not the sutras, which is Kangyur, and not the commentaries from the Himalayas, which is Sumbum. But Tengyur means the ancient Indian commentaries. 3,700 commentaries. Okay, that survived. About 1,000 survive in China. Xuanzang translated about 1,000. Okay, so why are we talking about that? Tomorrow we're gonna correct a problem that existed in the Tengyur for 18 centuries. Okay, how are we gonna correct it? I have one Tengyur version, but I don't have enough. I need a comparison version. I need another block that was carved in another place in another century. Come on, you guys. We got the Nartar. It was just finished. 1,000,000 pages of work by our input team. And I want to announce before Ben takes over the conversation, we raised, how much did we raise? We raised enough money to give each operator $1,000. Okay. And we used it, so it's about, you raised like 18,000 or something like that. Okay, not bad. And that's a wonderful gift for these people who are saving a civilization. They are saving a civilization. These quiet little, mostly ladies who do the good work. In fact, we're thinking to give the boys half a bonus. No, because they have been outproduced by 100% by this other group of ladies. Okay, so just so you know, and I don't know how that's going to work out. There might be a civil war, so I'm working on it. But you should be proud that we have raised enough to give them, and that's a lot of money where they live. Okay, all right.
You want me to share the screen again, Geshe? The QR code? We good?
What do you say?
Oh, QR code.
Oh, yeah. I'll try to dig it up.
No, he'll do it.
Oh, good. Yeah, please, Nick. Yeah. So does it start with Nipa? Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Okay, so please do Nipa soon.
I will.
And then do Chepe Tsikche.
Yeah.
And then do it down to 1.9.
Okay, cool. Okay, All right.
All right. That's your homework.
Deal.
Yeah, I'm getting out of here.
No. Okay, this is hard. So I do tune in. Last week, what was it? Monday, there were some very good questions at this point in the discussion, but I don't want questions. I'm here. Okay, I'm here for a couple days. If you want to give me hard questions, I love hard questions. Doesn't mean I know the answer. But I like the challenge, maybe especially when I don't know the answer. But this time is not for that. We have to take very hard material and try to figure out what it has to do with our lives. So help me, Natasha.
Yes, Ben, thank you so much for the class. I love your classes. They're so hard and I love them. I love the reasoning, the different kinds of reasoning, and I'll try to apply this. It will make me feel maybe less stupid. So today In mixed nuts class in Diamond Mountain, my understanding of the pen does not shukla imply lack of my ignorance.
Say that again. What does not imply?
Lack of my ignorance.
What doesn't?
Yeah, my understanding of the pen today.
Your understanding of the pen today.
So the time delegation today in the Diamond Mountain class of mixed nuts.
You have to eat that microphone.
Sorry, my understanding of the pen does not shukla imply lack of my ignorance.
Your understanding of the pen does not imply a lack of your ignorance. Why? Because you're just not there yet. Maybe it doesn't imply a total lack of ignorance, but you're coming along, I suspect. Yeah.
But is that the way to use this free reasoning?
I think that's nice. Yeah. We may be getting some understanding, but it doesn't mean that we're free from ignorance. Can a correct understanding stay in the same place as a misunderstanding?
Exactly, yes.
Depends on three things.
Yeah.
I guess, right? The place, the time, and the context. This context is ripe for ignorance. We used context as types of beings. Yeah, I think that's right.
Thanks.
I think that's right. What else? How am I going to use this? Help me. This is hard. Yeah, please. Renee? Oh, sure.
To continue what Natasha just said, I think in the same moment that you grasp the emptiness of the pen, you can't think that it comes from its own side. Like in the same moment, it's not possible to be misunderstanding and understanding the emptiness of something, I think.
Yeah, so how does that help you with a fussy person? I mean, this is our main problem, right? Is fussy people. I think it's the only problem almost, because it might be someone else, but otherwise I'm the fussy person. How does it help? What do you think? Oh, we have a hand, but then you have to throw the football.
I think it just feels like there are so many proofs of emptiness inside.
Yeah, I think so. I think so, right. If you're sitting there trying to prove emptiness, can you at the same time be mad? It's possible. I've seen it done. But it's harder, yes.
Yeah, I think for me it's give an understanding of the seeds. Like if I have a fight with the husband, then there is like no peace, because like, the peace is like if I'm unhappy, which is like kind of smoke. Like I'm unhappy with something, so like there is no inner happiness. So this means it's kind of understanding of the seeds, that's like lack of the happiness seeds, which I put unhappy seeds in me, and then it's like reason why I'm unhappy with my husband, for example. Like,
yeah, if you're unhappy, if you're angry, there must be misunderstanding. There must be. So then these tools allow you to get to the bottom of it. Yeah, it's wonderful. Cool. Oh, will you translate? Yeah, cool. Good. I can't see the time, so I can. All right, good.
I'm sorry that I don't speak English.
No, I'm sorry, I don't speak Russian.
У меня вопрос, который непосредственно не касается этого текста.
I have a question which doesn't relate directly to this text.
Но в целом касается ручки и понимания пустоты.
But it's related to the pen and understanding of the emptiness.
Okay.
Раньше Geshe Michael Roach говорил, что если 7000 раз послушать про ручку, то можно сказать «Привет, пустота».
before, like Geshe Michael Roach told that if I heard 7,000 times about the pen, I can't say goodbye, like not goodbye, hello emptiness. Like if I hear 7,000 times about the pen, so I understand the emptiness.
А потом он стал добрым и сказал, что 3000 раз хватит.
And then he became more kind and told that 3,000 times will be enough.
That's nice. Good.
Я посчитал, что в день человек может послушать или даже проговорить сам 120 раз про ручку.
Alexei counted that you can hear or think about the emptiness about like 120 times per day by himself.
За 10 часов.
About 10 hours of the day.
Ну, даже если это разделить на двое,
even if we like split it on two,
по 60 раз за сутки,
60 times per day, per like 24 hours.
50 дней пустота напрямую.
It's 50 days and Alexei should see the emptiness directly. Did you do it?
Каждый день слушает пустота. Каждый день, значит, 365 раз каждый год. И потом, если 10 лет будет, в конце концов будет 3650. Хватит.
Wait. You have to translate Geshe Michael.
So if you will listen.
So this is the shortest way why we go around.
If you listen for 10 years every day about emptiness, if you listen to the pen, then it will be good enough every day. 365 days a year.
I think it helps also talk about it with your friends. I think for me personally, the greatest gift that I have had in coming to some understanding has been friends who want to talk about it with me, that I can share it with. And this place out here where we will do, if weather permitting, a fire ceremony, once was the debate ground. And every Tuesday and Thursday, we would argue with each other. And then you have to find those people who can't get enough. And when it's time to go home, they won't. And then you make them coffee or tea and you keep arguing. And then your mind stays there if you surround yourself by people who keep wanting to talk about it. I'm a very poor meditator. And I should know because I really tried. And keeping your mind in one place, right, is very difficult. Keeping your mind at the heart, keeping your mind on emptiness is very hard. But surrounding yourself with people who want to talk about it all the time, especially if you're someone like me who talks too much, it's almost like what they call samadhi or ekagra, or having your mind in one place. As many things in your life as you can make about the one thing. There's a saying, I think it's a West Chinese saying, if you want to know how to keep your sheep in the pen, build a really large pen. So structuring a life full of reminders and people to talk to about emptiness also really helps. I'll just say, I know this is hard and I have to stop and give it over to Juan. And I do think I have this idea, there's like an over preparedness for other things in your life, practical applications. If you can understand the nature of reality, then all the little stuff is no sweat. When we got out of here, when we left retreat, Geshe Michael and team kindly raised us money. It was like leaving prison. It was a very small check, but it felt like so much to us. It was $1,500 each that we got, and I lived here for a decade, so that felt like a lot of money to me. I was eating peanut butter out of the kitchen, your powdered goat milk. I'm not making that up. Okay, whatever was there. And I had never made money. I had never had anything. And then it was time to have a home and make a business and have it. And my life it's humble. You see, it's humble, but like I have everything I need, and I run a business, and I have exactly 83 bills that I pay every 2 weeks, and I have spreadsheets, and it's easy. That stuff is easy. If you learn 4 different types of proofs that were in the root text, and 2 implied by 2 of those, and then 2 others implied by just the words mena, then all the technical stuff, you want to make money, you want to start a business, easy. The famous Juan Hasso in the flesh. Do you come take my seat? Thank you. It's so wonderful to be here. It's so wonderful. Thank you, boss.
Thank you very much, Ben. Geshe, thank you so much. So today we have a tight schedule. I guess that's good. Lately, more and more people want to present their events. I think it's great that Ben Kramer is here. At some point, we can discuss of extending the 15 minutes to 30 minutes every day. So just kidding. Well, he's not even paying attention. But anyways, no, it's okay. Oh yeah, he said yes, 30 minutes every time. Just kidding. Anyways, let's move quickly because we have a lot to celebrate today. First, we want to acknowledge, congratulate, and celebrate 3 people who just had their birthdays. 2 of them today, 1 of them yesterday. And Geshe Michael is here. He's gonna show us a wonderful tradition that's, how to say, being kept for years and years. So do you want quickly, Sunam, just introduce what are we doing? What is this tradition about?
So it's good tradition that when you have birthday that you get a prediction from the King of the Dharma book for your next year.
Yes, it's gonna be Madison, Edmond, and Katerina. Can you stand up, please? We want to thank you very much for all you're doing. Edmond needs no presentation, super DSU producer. Madison there, lower campus manager. Thank you so much for all you're doing. Katerina, endless dishwasher. I've seen you work, wonderful.
I'm gonna pick the quotation and Sunam's gonna read it. And we're gonna do 1 quotation for all 3. And how it applies to your year until your next birthday, you have to meditate on it, okay? You ready? Woo!
As we prepared for the lectures, we began to see clearly that we couldn't simply go straight through the events of Chetsong Khapa's extraordinary life in a strictly linear fashion, as does our root text by Chamcheng Shepa Dorje. We are presenting his life to several hundred New Yorkers, most of them sharp Manhattanites with busy careers, with only an occasional Western monk or monk sprinkled in the audience. How could we convey to people who need never spend a day in a monastery the extraordinary relevance of the Master's life to people of all times and all countries, all walks of life? How could we make our talks have the effect of an inspiring movie where we walk out thinking, I'd like to be like him?
Thank you so much. Thank you, you three, for being alive and keep having birthdays. And Diamond Mountain has a wonderful present for you, cake. And we hope you share. And in the meantime, while these three people share their cakes with all of us, thank you so much. We want to extend our gratitude to the host, Diamond Mountain, for having us and having treated us so well. It's a wonderful place to be. For those of you who may not be here, I strongly recommend you try to come at least one time. But if you come once, very likely you're gonna want to come again and again and again. Wonderful place, wonderful people, addiction. Woo! And in that line, Chloe has something she wants to share with us. And in a way, you can see it's like a thank you present for Diamond Mountain and all the events they are allowing us to produce.
Thank you, Juan. Hi, thank you, Juan. So everybody in this room, raise your hand if you've been here for the first time. Wow. Raise your hand if you've been here for 1 year. 2 years. 3 years. 10 years. 20 years. 30 years. So this is a magical place, and we thank everybody who built the place, and this magic is continuing to affect so many people. People give up Bahamas to come here, wash dishes, change your lives, and change so many more people. So we had the opportunity to do one more new event, innovation retreats, which we bring people to Diamond Mountain to do the retreat. So we just want to show everybody online as well how much this place can carry and move forward into deep retreats. So let's show the video and enjoy.
Can you help us with the lights in the back? Maybe it's prettier for the video. Thank you. Yeah, this video is intended to have no sound, so you can go deeper. Just kidding.
We're looking at the Dunhuang Cave site. finding innovation voice. Discuss the future of what we can do to bring more people into retreats. This is during the retreat what you can do to go deeper inside. That's the cave, future cave. We went to a marble site behind the Diamond Mountain. And we want to bring thousands and tens of thousands more people to come to retreat. And this will be your new home if you haven't been here, and welcome back year after year for your home. Thank you.
Thank you, Chloe. Thank you, IR, and thank you, Diamond Mountain. And apparently the AR events come with Tim Lowenhop as one of the yoga instructors. So if you come, you're gonna have the chance to spend some time with Tim in yoga pants. Just kidding. Yeah, thank you. Tim, also, this is a wonderful, wonderful event, wonderful production. You see how many people are happy about it. But people are wondering, Tim, we want more. What's next?
So, okay, it works. One of the cool things about Peachtree World News is that it gives us an opportunity to all kind of blend together, right? So we don't have to think about brand or company or who belongs to what organization. We're all sharing what's happening, right?
We're one love, one big family.
Yeah, and one of the cool things of what's coming up in December is that we have our annual event. Okay, fine. We have our annual event. I love everybody. Breathe in love. Exhale, Kyoto. So every year in December, we have an event that ends up being a worldview event where everybody from all the organizations come together to meet each other, to talk to each other, to get wonderful, wonderful teachings. It's called Steps on the Path. And this year, we have a very, very amazing program happening. It's the end of our 14 years of Steps on the Path. And we're calling it the Spark of Joy, which relates to joyful effort, which is where the text ends for us before it moves into how to do meditation at an IR retreat. So all of these teachings, all of these programs they always have these overlaps, which I find really, really cool. You learn one thing in one group, you learn something very similar in a different presentation, and then together in Kyoto, we'll be celebrating together. And I wanted to invite Xuanzang up because we have another program happening at the same time that I'd like him to share.
Okay, thank you. So Spark of the Joy celebration for the 14 years of the learning, especially from the House of the Staircase, will also include contents, include celebration of the SCIM Alumni Association, which is called SCA, at the same time. So Geshe Michael will cover the celebration, not just the Spark of Joy, but also the alumni. And of course, the SCA, we also have our own event using the same location on the same period of time. We are going to teach you how to emanate, meaning that You can attend few events together at the same time, and probably, but yeah, we are sure in the same location. Yeah, so same location, same time, and different identity. And it is going to be a very amazing event in the amazing location, which is great hotel. And we really want to see all of you. So if you are Ska, please come. If you come, please attend all. If you are not Ska, you are also welcome. You must come. At least you can get a glimpse of what we are doing together. So yeah.
And finally, we actually have a co-production team in Japan, and we have the Ska team, which is Shintian and Sugan. We also have our most famous Steps on the Path producer, Jasmine Yao. Can you stand up and wave? Look at the camera, yeah. And she's doing an amazing job to push us over to filling up our entire event. So we have very limited spaces available. It's getting quite tight, and you don't want to miss this program as an ending of 14 years of teachings, but it's also a brand new beginning of our organizations in what Geshe is calling the 5-house world. So please see us, please come. And Juan, thank you for the opportunity to bring us all together.
My pleasure, and I thank you also. I have had the chance to be in Kyoto a few times. Wonderful place. It's so fun to be there. You know, like just walking in the streets, of course, not the need to speak about the events, the people that go there. This is in a way like kind of a worldview summit. I start seeing it that way. So it's a great opportunity. I really encourage you to come.
Yes,
sure.
but yes, but we're talking about specifically going to Japan, correct? Yes. Okay. Take one up.
Jasmine.
I guess Jasmine's on.
Anyways, try to go if you can. And it's a great finale of the series of Steps on the Path. So I think it's going to be a huge party. I hope so.
Yeah, next time. But this time we are going to Kyoto. And because my participants are all from China, so I would like to speak in Chinese. And the main point for the translator is I will welcome more Chinese people to come to the 14 years anniversary. 我想在这里特别邀请我们中国以及华语区的所有的同学来参加12月份在京都主办的步步上道14周年庆典这个英文名叫 Spark of Joy。那我觉得中国有一个非常好的词，就叫心花怒放。为什么心花怒放呢？这正好也是这一次课程最后结尾，然后老师会用这个步步上道最后一阶的内容，是关于where's the camera？ 这个内容是关于步步上道最后一阶，然后最后关于6大完美里边最重要的，怎么样用喜悦、用快乐、用一种心花怒放的状态去拥抱完美的世界、完美的生活。而且这一次，如果你入住5星级酒店，成为我们的 VIP， 我们会跟老师住在同一个京都的5星级酒店，享受 VIP 套餐。这个套餐包括格西老师会给我们再来做一个很特别的这个演讲。这个特别的演讲会是关于步步上道的更有深度、更有高度的、更美妙的教授。所以欢迎赶快加入我们的 VIP 套餐，一起来京都庆祝14周年心花怒放的庆典。
I reiterate everything she just said. Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you both to Sugang, Shintian, and Jasmine as our co-producers of this event. Thank you.
And we hope to see you there.
And now for whose class is next?
Break.
Oh, we're done.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah,
It's
you
time-
can tell them more.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
Oh no, it's. Do you want to say something? She just has an announcement. She's telling us it's time to go. Bye. Thank you, Juan.
Thank you very much. And thank you all for having spent this beautiful time in this retreat. Thank you, team, for producing it. Thank you so much for all you're doing. Now I have had even the chance to attend to some of your classes, and I think are wonderful. So
Thank you.
I'm extending my admiration and appreciation for all you're doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.